If you're looking for a multiplayer deduction game with semi-cooperative nature, stay tuned in because I have the card game for you.
Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
I am probably going to mispronounce the names. I'm just going to say it once. Renjie, I think that's how you pronounce it, or at least how I would, is a deduction game where you're working together because in order for somebody to win, you have to know a little bit of the clues. Everybody together has to solve the puzzle, and then whoever scores the most points is the winner. On a two-player game I play this with my wife quite a bit, I really feel like just solving that puzzle is pretty darn good, and you both can call yourselves winner. And if you want the better winner, you can count up the points. But I don't think that's as much needed. Just trying to solve that puzzle is fairly difficult. And the more players you have, I think the easier that may become, but you're going to have less and less information. The information is going to become more chaotic, so it makes it harder in that regard. So it's a self-balancing game, but I do like it with less players. I find this is a fantastic two-player game, but it really makes my mind spin as you're trying to figure out what exactly the clues are. Almost like Clue, you're looking for the location, who did it, and where at. And it was what weapon, and it really plays out in a card game. If you're looking for Clue, the card game, this is probably it. Very good job of accomplishing this, but you really do need to work together. So it's not just me finding out. I might know the weapon, the location, but not who did it. And if you know who did it, then we all score, and whoever scored the most wins. If we don't get collectively, if we don't get all three, then nobody scores and everybody loses. It's a little bit of a semi-co-op, but it works in this respect. You can totally play it just trying to figure out what it is, and then score if you won or not score, but it works really, really well. It's a really fun little deduction game. Now, the first couple times you play it, you're not really going to understand how the system works. It was really confusing to us and foreign to us. After the first couple plays, maybe the first play, we were like, I don't know about this. Let's try it again. Let's see if we're missing something. And we went through it more, and the more and more I played it, the more and more I liked it. It's a really short game, so it's not like you're investing 3 hours in each play. You just kind of got to know how it works, and maybe it'll click with you from step one. Fantastic. It just didn't for us. So this is a keeper. This is something I'm going to keep my eye on. It's probably a really good game that you haven't heard of. I wish it had a different theme to it. I don't really like the artwork in it. I don't really like the theme attached to it. I feel like it holds the game back. Man, if you put Clue, the card game, on this would be a big seller, and a lot of people would hear about it. So I'm surprised that hasn't happened. But for me, I really like this game. It's something you should check out. So here's the Renjie, which is a little card game you can have. You can have a rule set that will come out, and you're going to have some cards that will be inside of it. The cards are okay. I think they feel fine in the hand. They don't have any kind of linen finish on them or anything. You can see the artwork that is on them. You have some people. It's a fine-looking game, but it's just a little small card game. I mean, you wouldn't expect to pay a huge price for this, but it does have unique artwork. I mean, if you like a picture of a bed, there you go. If you like a picture of this guy standing, he's in here. If you like a picture of this, it's there. So it really, for the most part, the components are just a deck of cards. So here's what you're going to get for the rule book. It's going to, oh wow, it's one of these map things, right? I'm not a big fan of these at all, but you can see it's really long. Components with pictures up here. Setup is over here, and then the game phase will start on this side over there. And then the back is just going to be this long explanation. Plenty of pictures and examples. The game is a little wonky. The scoring is a little wonky. It's kind of weird. I'll walk you through it, but there you go. You're also going to get it in a different language. So in case you wanted more than one language, it would be provided for you. The rules are okay. I mean, I was able to get through this pretty quickly. It's just a light card game, but it does some things that are a little bit unique that might need to do mental gymnastics to get through it. Setup for the game is really easy. You take a T card, which are the red ones, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You will shuffle these up so you don't know which one, and you will set one of the T cards aside. You'll take one of each of the location cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will shuffle them up, and you'll put one over here. And then you'll put the weapon cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll shuffle these up, one of each, and you'll take one at random. So I'm going to players won't know what these cards are, but just for the sake, so you're going to have one person card, one location card, and one weapon card. These will be face down, and the people won't know which one it is. They'll know it's one of the 6 of these, and one of the 5 of these, and one of the 5 of these. But these will be face down. And like Clue, if you ever played Clue, this is kind of what you'll be guessing as the game continues. Then you'll take the 13 cards that are left over. So you put the 3 over there, and you'll shuffle these cards up. And then what you'll do is you'll give everybody 2 of these cards, okay? Everybody at the table will have 2 of these cards. So what that tells you, okay, is that these 3 cards, out of all the possibilities in the card, are it. So this tells player 1, it's not location 2 and it's not location 1. And then it tells this guy, it's not these 2 weapons. And these are random. It didn't have to be weapons. I shuffled them up. But right there eliminates some options for you. Now, these will be hidden from the player. So this player will not know what this player has, and nobody will know what these cards are. Then you will take the 5 suspect cards, and you will shuffle these cards up. And each player will receive 1 of these suspect cards. So they will have this information about this suspect card 5, and he would have 2. They wouldn't know that to each other, and the rest of the 3 are left over. Then you would take the remainder of the cards, and you would shuffle them up. Based on the number of players, you will deal out a number of cards. So let's say in a 2-player game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would go to his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would go to her hand. So now you are set up and ready to play. So the first thing you would do on a turn is reveal a hidden clue. I'm going to circle back to that because at the beginning of the game, you don't have any of those. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to request a card from another player. So you look at your hand, you decide what you want to get. And what you're really trying to do is if you can get 3 of a kind, so if I could get 3 location 5s, that would eliminate it from telling me it's not in there because I put 1 of those in. There's 3 of each card in the deck. So you're trying to get as close as possible to that as possible. It can be a little tricky, but that's what you're trying to do. So take a look at my hand, I can request a card. So I have, let's say I want another weapon card. So I will request either a specific number, I could say a 5, or I could do a weapon. So let's say I request a 5. And this player over here gives me a 5 from his hand. So now I have 3 5s. I can now eliminate a W5. A weapon 5 is not over here because I have all 3 of them in my hand. I have that information. So I requested a card, which was granted. If he had not given me the card, for whatever reason, I would draw the top card of the deck, okay? And that would be added to my hand. Now that I have a set of 3, I can go ahead and place this face down in my scoring area. So I am saying I have a set of 3. So in order to play a group of 3, I have to have the same card. Now, if I wanted to bluff, and let's say I didn't have this, I could use one of these S5s. These S5s are kind of like wild cards, if you will. And they can be played with any 5. This one could. If I had a 3, it could be played with any 3. So I could put these face down here and make him think I have 3 of this kind, okay? But in fact, I do have the 3 5s, and I know that it's not there. So if I had this in my hand, I might want to hold this back for strategic reasons, and I'll play these cards that face down like this. At the end of my turn now, I can draw 0, 1, or 2 cards. So if the game deck has 2 or more cards, I can draw 2 cards off the top of it. That would be an option. I could choose 2 different players who did not give a card during phase 2 when I requested it, and it randomly take a card from them. Or I can draw a card from the top of the deck and randomly draw a card from somebody who did not give up a card. So I'll just take 2 from the top of the deck, which will give me more information. Look at that. Now I have 2 weapon 4s and 2 weapon 2s. And let's say the other player had already taken his turn and it's back to me. So the first thing I'm going to do on a turn is if I already played these clues down, I have to reveal one of my revealed clues. So now he knows, my opponents know that this is a weapon 5. And that means that they would assume safely that this is not a weapon 5 because I played all these. Little do they know, I paid the settler 5, right? Even though I had it. But I didn't want to necessarily rule that out for anybody, okay? For whatever reason. I'm just showing you what could possibly happen. Once again, I could request a card from somebody. Maybe this time instead of saying a specific number, I'll just say weapon card. This guy will look at his thing. He's like, oh, I want to give him a weapon card, so I'm going to give him this one. So he only has 1. He's not really building that set, so he's going to give it away. He gave me exactly what I wanted. So I would play this down, and then I could draw more cards like I did before. And at the end of the next turn, I could reveal this card over if I wanted to. So whenever there's 8 or more revealed clues, 8 around the whole table, everybody included, the round will end, or the game will end. Everybody will turn over the top cards of their clues that they have. So now we can see everything is there. And what the players are looking for is they have to have they're going to guess these card numbers. As long as everybody collectively is able to get this correct. So, like, let's say I knew it was a weapon 3, and this person knew that it was this location and this. That's fine. We have collectively guessed correct what these options are. At that point, then you would add up the points and see who's the highest score. If we do not collectively get this correct, then we all lose. It's kind of complicated, so we want to be able to narrow it down. So I might not know all the answers, but collectively, we all want to know the answers. Who should play this game? Anyone who likes the clue, the deduction games, and trying to figure out who did what, and you're kind of working together as you go through it. At first, you'll be giving a card to other people. You're like, why would I give them a card for? Because you want them to figure it out. You can't figure out everything on your own. So it has that cooperative nature to it. Sure, it has a scoring mechanism. You can see who the ultimate winner is if you want. But man, just figuring this out is a lot of fun. It does take a little bit of thought. I wouldn't say for young gamers, but probably 8 and up, 10 and up, I think you'll be hitting a pretty good thing. And adults can 100% totally play this, and that's who it's designed for, I feel. Very cool game, one I like a lot, and one you probably missed. Keeper for us.